Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am Crystal L. Gunn, your financial strategist, and thank you for joining me for another office hours training. Part of my job as a strategist is to help you heal and redefine your personal financial relationship, to help you get your financial house in order. I also help you to have some aha moments, right? Those self-discovery moments, and helping you see what no longer serves you so that you can release it and soar, helping to give you information that you can include in your financial plan, that's going to help you today, tomorrow, and the generations that follow you. All of this is where, helps with the breakthroughs. It's where you start to shift. It's where the magic happens, being in your personal finances or your overall business. And so all of August has been all about life insurance, or will continue to be all about life insurance, because it is so very important. So let's dig into it today. And so the first couple weeks of August, I spoke about the misconceptions of life insurance. I want you to go back and watch those episodes, because there's a lot of misconceptions and why we miss the boat, because we have these misconceptions. And so go back and watch those episodes so that you can see what misconceptions you had, but so that you can move past it in order to be able to use this powerful tool of life insurance, and so that it works for you, your family, again, and the next generations that follow you, right? So last week, though, I started digging into why life insurance is important and the uses of life insurance, and trying to give you some examples so that you can see it and you can see how it relates to you, your family, your situation, what it is that you need now and what you want to accomplish in life. So let's continue to look at ways to use life insurance. And so the fifth way to use life insurance is for college funding, right? So life insurance can provide funds for your children's college education, ensuring they have the opportunity to gain valuable skills and knowledge. So let's look at a few reasons or examples of how life insurance can provide funds for your children's college education, helping them to avoid burden of student loans. And that's the number one reason, avoiding that student loan debt trap, right? And when I think about when my daughter went to undergrad, and so she graduated last May of 2023 from undergrad, and I think about when I went to undergrad so many years ago, my dad paid for my college. I never had any student loans. Well, my daughter was fortunate enough. She doesn't have any student loans either, right? And so by using life insurance to fund your child's education, they can graduate debt-free, allowing them to start their career without financial strain of repaying these student loans. This gives them greater financial freedom and the ability to invest in their future, such as purchasing a home or starting a business, right? And I know my dad paid out of pocket, but the cost of the cost of tuition was so much less expensive. So I never had that burden of student loan debt, right? So avoiding that student loan debt, great way to use life insurance for that. And what they're able to do is the cash value that's being built in that policy, you can pull out to pay off. You can either borrow against or withdraw those funds to pay for college tuition, right? So the number two way is ensuring continued education. Let's say husband and spouse, one of them passes away. Now the family may struggle to avoid college tuition, right? Because that other person's income is no longer there and you could have been putting money away. So life insurance, again, that cash value can provide the necessary funds to ensure that that child can still attend college and complete their education. Plus, any other proceeds from the death benefit of the deceased parent, right, can now be used to fund that college education fund, right? So here's another spin on that. So you have a child, you have life insurance on your child, you have life insurance on you, and you have life insurance on your parents, right? Where you're the owner and you are paying the premium on the policy that you have on your parents. The death benefit on your parents' policy may be used to fund your children's life, your children's college education. And so everybody has a date that they will be called to glory. So using the tool of life insurance is a way to leave a legacy and make life easier for someone else, right? That you love. Number 3 way is preserving family savings. So instead of depleting the family savings or retirement funds to pay for college, life insurance can be used as a dedicated resource for educational purposes. So again, that planning piece of it from the beginning, not, oh, my child wants to go to college in 2 years, right? So this helps to preserve the assets and ensure that the children's education and the family's long-term financial goals are secured. And then there's student housing. So your child goes to college, there will be some costs associated with student housing, be it the dorm, or when they get to that second year and now they have an apartment, there's a cost associated with that too. So rent, utilities, food, housing, supplies, example. So my daughter went to Florida A&M. Again, she graduated in May of 2023. So she went to Florida A&M. Florida A&M doesn't have a ton of dorms, right? So second year, like unless you become, there's some instances, but 90% of the time you are in an apartment. And so you know, that looked a whole lot different now than it did when I was in school. We just went and you got an apartment. Like if you had a roommate, then you and your roommate or your roommates, you went and got an apartment. Well, they now have this student housing that's not associated with the campus per se. It's not owned by the college, but it's dedicated to student housing. So, you know, um, I know her last year, she was in a 3-bedroom townhouse and she knew one of the young ladies that was going to be a roommate, but they didn't have a third roommate. And so because it's student housing, they will put somebody in there with you that, has similar likes and things of that nature. So again, totally different than what it was. But even with that, and even with those 3 roommates, rent was like $600 a piece for them, right? So being able to have that cash value in that life insurance policy to be able to cover that gives the student financial relief, right? My daughter didn't have a full-time job when she went to undergrad. So again, that money being able to use to supplement, and as opposed to parents having to necessarily come out of their pockets to do that, to pay for that as well, goes a long way in helping to continue that education. And then the number 5th reason is flexibility in future educational costs. So as education continues to rise, and I'm hoping with everything that's happening in the economy, that changes really soon, that it starts to go down as opposed to continue to go up. But a life insurance policy with cash value that can grow over time can provide a flexible and accessible resource that can be used for future educational expenses, right? So be it college tuition, vocational training, or advanced degrees. So now my daughter, she sat out a year. She wanted to sit out a year after she graduated from undergrad. So now she's going to grad school in a whole nother state. There's no student housing. She had to get a real person, grown up apartment, not affiliated with any school. And that rent is like $1,700 a month. Right? So that again is how that cash value in that life insurance policy can be used to cover those type of costs, right? As opposed to her saying, well, I need to, stay home and get my master's degree on an online program or stay here. Well, nowhere here had the program that she wanted. And she wanted to do her thing. She wanted to be where she is right now. And I, you know, applaud all of that. So being able to use life insurance, it again, it's just a tool that can make such a difference in your life. So do me a favor. If you have children or grandchildren, think about how they will cover the cost of college and all that goes with it. How could life insurance help them so that they don't graduate with thousands in student loan debt? How could life insurance help them so they are not worried about the money while in school? And how having the cash value continue to grow helps them after they graduate? Remember, life insurance is a necessity and it's a powerful tool. When I talk about getting your financial house in order, life insurance is an important part of that, right? So when you talk about you love your family, the least you can do is have a conversation about life insurance and then make sure that you have adequate life insurance coverage, right? And we as a people are missing out on the industry that could help to stop the 2053 prediction of Blacks having zero wealth. We're missing out on the benefits of having life insurance, and we are missing out on the benefits of having a career in life insurance. And when we talk about that 2053 prediction, getting your financial house in order is how we ensure that that prediction doesn't become a reality. 29 years. It's all we have until 2053. And you can see that we are already, next week is September, right? And you see how quick this year went. So we can't wait until 2050 to start working on our finances. You really can't wait until 2055. I'm sorry, 2045. No, geez. You cannot wait until 2024 to start working on your finances and getting your financial house in order. We have to start today. And so when we talk about building that generational wealth, life insurance is one of those tools in order for you to do so. It also helps you to be able to live a life that you desire and deserve now, and also ensures that your loved ones are taken care of if something happens to you. We also talk about breaking those generational curses. And so if the curse is going to stop with you, then the system of success will start with you. You have to get the tools in order to create the new systems of success and pass down the generational wealth. And so you know what that means. That means what is my favorite thing for today? It's life insurance. It's life insurance and all of the benefits and all of the ways that we can use life insurance and all of the ways that it can enhance. And when you're thinking about life insurance, I know somebody is out there like, oh my God, that's just another bill. We have to stop thinking about it as a bill and as an expense, and start to think about it as an investment, because it is an investment in you. So that life insurance. So what I want you to do at this point is complete that life insurance calculator. The link is in the description to see how much coverage you should have, right? It's gonna do a few things when it comes up with that number. It's gonna let you know, okay, oh my God, I'm good. Oh my God, I'm inadequately insured, or oh my God, I need a policy today. Right. You're going to get some idea. And then when you schedule that free consultation with me and we start to discuss the life insurance and your life, what you want for your family, right? We then kind of figure out what type of policies that you need, and get that coverage done. It's going to look different for everybody. Where we fail often is we'll have a conversation with our coworker, with our spouse who had a conversation with a coworker, with a family member, or a friend that they've never plugged in the numbers in the life insurance calculator to see how much coverage they have. You know what I mean? They're inadequately covered, or they had some experience with somebody and it did not go well, or they just gave them this policy. I say time and time again, like, getting your financial house in order in your healing and redefining your personal financial relationship is not a cookie cutter thing, right? You and your neighbor, y'all could be the same age. You all could have kids that are the same age, and spouses that are the same age. It does not mean that your budgets will look alike. It does not mean that the life insurance policies that you have will be the same, because what's happening in your life is different than what's happening in theirs. What they want, is totally different. You know what I mean? So schedule a free consultation and let's talk about some options and then what you found. And that link is also in the description. And then let's fill in the gaps and get you the coverage and make sure that your children are covered as well. So that, and again, talking things through to see where do you need policies. We know everybody needs some life insurance, but where do you need them specific based off of what's happening in your family, what goals, how you want to live life, what you want to leave behind, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. And then remember, I'm going to put this up again because the trouble is we think that we have time and we don't. Like, tomorrow is not promised. In addition to tomorrow not being promised, being able to start building that cash value, that's why it's so good. The younger your children are, the better it is for you to get them in a policy so that you are continuing, you know what I mean? So that they have a longer time period to fund that, so that the insurance premiums are far less expensive, right? So the trouble is that we think we always have time. And I've had people say, I'm like, well, why didn't you do a thing? And it was like, honestly, I just thought that I had more time, right? So if this information has been helpful to you, please subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on so that you don't miss a training. Also, share this information with somebody. It takes a village, right? It takes a community. And you don't have to go into a whole lot of hoopla, detail, or dissertation. Just share the information with somebody. Whether they look at it or move on it is not your responsibility, but what is your responsibility is to share the information. Right? Don't be the gatekeeper. This could be the information that somebody was just praying for. And you're going to be the answer to their prayers by sharing this information. And always, always, always give yourself some grace. I say this, you don't know what you don't know. Forgive yourself for what you don't have, any mistakes that you made in the past, not doing something yesterday. Give yourself grace on that. What you cannot do, though, is give yourself grace tomorrow. If you saw this today and now you're seeing it tomorrow, if you saw this last week, you're seeing it this week, and you didn't move last week when you saw it, you can't give yourself grace on that, though. It's time to move, right? Keep striving for your next level, to build wealth for your family, to learn more, to make sure that your family is covered. Keep striving for your next level. This isn't about competition with anybody else. It's about you and your family. And never give up on you. Never, ever, ever give up on you, and invest in you. I think I said it earlier today. Stop looking at these things as expenses and look at them as investments that will work out in your favor and for the favor of your family. Remember, if the curse stops with you, then the new systems of success must start with you. But you have to learn them, use them, in order to be able to teach them and pass them on. So invest in you. I promise you it's the best investment that you'll ever make, and you will never, ever, ever regret it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Crystal L. Gunn, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Be sure to join me for the private online Q&A immediately following. The link is in the description. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on so you never miss this opportunity.